we're here at NORTE MAAR on the closing day of Tamera Gonzalez's show, Untitled, an exhibition of new paintings. So why don't you give us a quick run through, just take a little stroll around the gallery and tell us about some of the new paintings.
Okay. You want to go in here? Let's start here.
All right, we'll start in here.
Yeah. Jason's not ready.
Sex researching.
Now these represent work from what, the last year, 2 years?
These would be the last year.
There's Chris Martin and Gary Nichols in the background. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm spray painting through lace, and I'm using the different patterns of lace, like different brushes. My work before had a lot of decorative elements in it.
Yes.
Stuck on the canvas.
So there were kind of textural things. I know you had pom-poms and glitter and all kinds of things.
Ribbons.
So this is all spray paint.
This is all spray paint.
So you haven't touched these with a brush or rollers or palette knives or anything?
No brush, no palette knife, no roller yet. These are all yets. So yes, you know, the process is pretty simple. You hold lace up, you spray paint through it. You're a little bit blind because you have to keep removing, you know, the lace to see what's drawing is happening. And so I move around like so.
And so you've got a collection of lace that you have different patterns that you use for different things. And
I do. I go to 99-cent stores, pick up, you know, tablecloths, doilies, curtains. I go through thrift stores, remnants. This one is using another piece of paper, and this was something that was happening on the wall as I was making these paintings. I'd move them and there'd be these lines, so I started picking some of that.
So part of the process ended up becoming the subject of the painting. Let's move into the front room here and take a look at some of these other pieces.
Don't let me drool on myself.
Now, you'd mentioned the fact that you'd always been doing fairly decorative stuff, but I think this is even more decorative. Do you think that there's a kind of a revival, renewed interest in more decorative work these days? I've seen, it seems like several painters that I've visited have been getting into more decorative and pattern thing.
I mean, I've been into it for so long, it's hard for me to be as objective and say it's a sort of new thing.
Were you aware of the original pattern decorative movement back in the late 70s?
Yes. I think that actually more, a little bit later in the sort of mid 80s, I have two poles in my head, Philip Tapp and Chris Wool. I saw Chris Wool's first show that had some, could be lace patterns. It was black and white paintings in Soho that I love.
Yes.
And I sort of navigate my way, you know, through those holes in my head, really.
You did kind of an installation mural here on the wall behind one of these paintings here.
Yes, this is.
Do these works have titles?
They do.
What's this title on this piece?
Totter.
Okay.
This is Drifting on a Sea, and it's, you know, inspired by a Jimi Hendrix song.
Now, I also understand that right before the opening of the show that you were picked up by a snazzy Lower East Side gallery. Is that true?
I got to show at the Dependent Art Fair. We're
Ah.
not hitched or anything.
You haven't gotten formally related.
We had
Okay.
a wonderful day at the Dependent Art Fair.
Okay, and that was with which gallery?
James Fuentes.
James
It was
Fuentes.
curated by Adrian Rubenstein.
Beautiful. Anyway, so this is the final day.
This is.
And this is your first show in New York in how long?
Since 2005. I'm almost afraid to do the math. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay,
Years,
well,
maybe longer. Is that
congratulations, Tamera.
possible? Thank you.
Here at NORTE MAAR, new paintings. And thanks, Kate.
Thanks in advance, Kate.
Well, now we're in the project room. We're going to talk to Kevin Curran. And I just asked you if the show had a title. You said it doesn't, but it seems like a lot of this is kind of based on themes of drawings that you did when you were a kid, like soldiers or
Well, a lot of these things are like
superheroes or something?
things I did as a kid. So like playing with
Oh,
action
things as a kid.
figures
Okay.
and playing with like toy guns or
And you also
collecting
have
rocks or
you
things
also
like
have
that.
the sculptures. Now this is carved styrofoam, and then
Yeah.
you cover this with what,
A
modeling
little bit of
paste
glitter and house paint. So
you're a
mostly the
football player?
basis is foam and house paint. Yeah. So
And the
then
drawings?
These drawings are like
Magic
my G.I.
marker?
Joe guys made with Sharpie marker, posed as like a high school portrait. So trying to like give the inanimate action figure a kind of awkward teen feeling with the way that they're drawn and the way that they're
I like that
posed.
one. And
it's
you've got
industrial.
your wooden guns here. Oh,
Yeah.
AK-47.
AK-47, we got the shotgun in here, and people can actually come and play with these a little bit. You know, it has a nice heft to it. So
Tell us about your mother's Afghan.
yeah, I asked her to make me this blanket and that looks like a Rothko painting. You know, the idea of Rothko being sort of sad person, but also the way he talked about his paintings is like an opportunity to weep in front of this like beautiful aesthetic-sized object.
Okay.
So like, well, he did. You know, that's sort of like his.
I always heard that he was like thinking of these open graves or something in Latvia.
But then you think it's like, well, what's comforting? You know, it's like a blankie. You know, it's like you need something to soothe that kind of angst.
Okay, you're
you know?
existentialist blankie.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a pretty ambitious sculpture here. Now, what is it about the sculptures on the wall? You know, a lot of these kind of act as shelves and have a tableau
Yeah.
part to them.
The shelves, it's like a sense of like display. You know, I used to install art in a lot of Upper East Side apartments that were very opulent, and so they had a lot of these kind of decorative arts objects. Like
Okay.
inside, you go in the house, they have the kind of demi-lune table or whatever, and that people would display their little tchotchkes on or whatever. In this case, you know, the exhibition is about display, right? And
Yes.
show. So trying to activate the space between the wall and on the top of the shelf, underneath the shelf, you know.
Well, I guess this would be considered a freestanding sculpture, but most of the stuff that I've seen of yours is work that is attached to the wall.
Yeah. I think that's just a sense of practicality too, about living with things, and it's easier to place things in your home. And I think a lot of my work
And
has
then
to
you're
do with
not
living with
stumbling over it in the night.
Yeah, but you know, it's also about living
banging
with
into-
art. You know what I mean? Like, how
Right.
do you live with art? What are the objects that you collect or that you want to live with about? You know, as a person.
All right, Kevin Curran, another guy here at NORTE MAAR in the project room. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Kate. What's your name?
Tim Ryans.
Tim Ryans?
Yeah. How's it going? What's your
Thank you.
name?